This is the NutriSlicer. It's a hand-cranked kitchen item as seen on TV that allows you to chop, shred, and slice. But does it really work? Let's check it out in today's review. Quick overview, got the 3 blades for slicing, chopping, and grating. This is where the food comes out and it slides on just like that. To release it, push this down and it comes right out. For my first test, I'm going to use the grater, so that's the bigger of the 2 of these. But all you do is insert it through there, and then your handle, there's a button here that's a release. There we go. You've also got this, which can push the food through the unit itself. That's really all there is to it, so let's get started. I should probably point out that the commercial seems to refer to this as the chopping blade, but the instructions refer to it as a shredding blade. You might hear me refer to it as the chopping blade, but it is the shredding blade in the instructions, so I'm sorry about that if that's confusing. It has the smallest opening of all the 3 blades out there. I guess it could be used for shredding or chopping. This is the bowl I picked up with my veggie bullet, which actually might work well here. First thing I'm going to try is a little bit of cauliflower. To measure this shoot, it's about 3.5 inches, so you really can't fit a lot in there. I'm getting like 2 pieces. Then you're supposed to push this down and turn the handle. I'm going to turn this around because I'm right-handed. Well, the other feature I should point out is that you push this lever down and it sticks to the counter. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Let me give you a close-up of it coming out of there. Get the hang of this here. Can only put in about 2 florets at a time. Is it flowers or florets? I don't know. Oh, it feels stuck. Now I'm getting the hang of it here, doing good. We're smoking now. Whoops, this is the last piece. Whoa. Oh, I yanked it off the table. Round 1 with cauliflower. This is how much I made. It went pretty fast. That's actually quite a bit of it. Push the button. Commercial says you just have to rinse it off, and so far, looks like it's rinsing off pretty well. But cauliflower is pretty easy to clean. Wait till we get to some harder things. What do you guys think? Not bad, right? Let's keep going. Let's try grating a little bit of cheese next. Now, the last time I grated cheese was with a veggie bullet. Went really well with that. Wow. I'll be curious to see how this manual product compares to that. So let's check it out. Okay, I'm pushing a little bit harder than I was in the cauliflower, but it's coming out. It's coming out. Oh, he did it. Here's what we got. That looks pretty nice. What do you guys think? Let's look inside of that and see what we've got in there. That will need to be cleaned out as well. Now, this cheese is a little bit more caked on than the cauliflower was, so I'll be curious how that goes. All right, that wasn't unbearable, not too bad. Let's keep going. Just stuck once again. So if I go the other way, it seems like I can unstick it. Here's our very, very thin apple slices. Now with the bigger half, this isn't going to fit through there, so I might have to just cut that again. There we go. Now we're getting progress here. Okay, this is the final product. Tell me if you guys think that's good for apple slices or not. Is that strange for an apple slice? You know, some are more complete. It just depends on which angle the apple goes in there. Some seem a little thinner. Not quite uniform, but hey, it was pretty easy. I didn't have to really struggle that much. All right, it's been so far so good, but let's try a few more things. I'm gonna kind of go in quick succession without cleaning it out first. We've got a cucumber, some squash, some carrots, and some celery. Let's get right to it. Oh, those look good. Oops. That probably isn't the best way to catch them. I should probably have something else. I guess I should take this off and at least get the stuff out of get the hunks out. Because I got that, which I don't want that. Oh, well, look at this. It just came right off. I wonder if this only holds for a certain amount of time. Lock it in place again, see how long that lasts, because it seems like it's popping off after a while. Try a couple of carrots. Well, that one just ejected out of there. Oh, they're flying out. Get a close-up of this. So here's the carrot slices. I think they're looking pretty good. The only thing though is you really can't adjust the thickness, which I guess that may or may not be a problem. He doesn't like this surface. All right, here's our squash slices. Very thin, came out pretty good, I think. Definitely acceptable. It's pretty even. I found that it washes pretty easily, but the only other problem I have is that even though it sticks to the table, it seems like it doesn't stick forever. It seems like it comes off at some point. So you have to kind of keep sticking it to the table. Maybe not a big deal, but something worth mentioning. I'm really kind of curious how celery will turn out. I'm gonna take all three of these stalks and try it with all three blades and see what the difference is. Celery with a grating blade. Let's try it with a slicing blade. See, it came off again. Now for my least favorite of the three attachments, the chopping or shredding blade. Let's try that. Nothing came out at all, nothing. Nothing came out except for a little bit of juice. So here's what we got. This is the shredded or chopped, which is kind of mushy. Here's the sliced. They're not real uniform slices though. This is the sliced. Over here, I like the grated better. It seems like it's a better consistency. All right, next up we're gonna do the chopping blade. We're gonna try some zucchini, onion, red cabbage. Even got some walnuts I'm gonna chop up. Push the button, don't forget it. Now we will push this down to lock it. I'm not sure how long that's gonna hold though, but let's try it out. Start with something easy like the red cabbage. Pushing pretty hard here. I'm not getting anywhere, come on. I'll try reinserting to see if that helps. Ugh. Seems like there's a lot in there. Not much came out. It's kind of mushy. It's just like purple mush. Maybe that's usable. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me if that's usable or not. It's not what I really would have wanted. Let's try my least favorite of all food items, an onion. No offense if you like them. I'm just not a fan of onions, but let's try it out. I'm pushing pretty hard on this particular blade. It seems like I'm having to push harder than the other two. And look, this just came right off. Has anything come out yet? Nothing's come out yet, and I'm almost all the way to the bottom. Ugh. Well, that's it. I've gone through the entire onion, and the only thing coming out is onion juice. We've got onion foam. So where is the onion then? Is it in there? Is that all onion? Because this is all, I mean, you don't want that. Who wants that? That's what we got. All the onion is in there. I mean, you can scrape it out. I really want you guys' opinion on what you think about this onion. They showed it being used with the chopping blade on the commercial. I've heard of onion soup before, but not like that. So I'm gonna try the other quarter of this onion with a grating blade instead of the chopping blade. Maybe I'll get better results. Oh, I can already tell it's better. Look at that, much better. Look at that, much better. I think that's far more useful than the mush that I came out with the other blade. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do this zucchini. I'm gonna try it with the grating blade and the chopping blade to see what kind of difference there is between the two of them. Okay, that looks really nice and came out really good. How does that look to you guys? Now let me turn the bowl around this way and switch blades. Oh, it's coming out at least this time. All right, probably a good comparison. If you can see the difference between the two. This was the grating blade and this was the chopping blade. This is very thin. I definitely like the grating better. That seems like it's more usable. This seems so thin. I guess it'll depend on your use though. All right, I had bad luck with the red cabbage on the chopping blade. Let's try it with the grating blade and see if that looks better. I gotta push this hard. Okay. I'm not sure that really came out much better. I'm not sure red cabbage is something that was very good for this. Zucchini definitely. Red cabbage, I don't know about that. All right, so the chopping blade hasn't been that impressive for onions and red cabbage, but how about something like walnuts, where it's right up the alley, having chopped walnuts? Let's try that out. All right, here we go. Let's see how this works. High hopes. Oh, come on, stick to it. All right, stick. Oh, there we go, there we go. Oh, wow. Okay, you tell me, is that a good consistency? Is it too fine? Or is it just right? What do you guys think about that? These are chopped walnuts. For my final test, I wanted to try slicing a potato like my dad used to do with his old kitchen magician. So let me try that out and see how it works. As you can see from the shaky camera, I had to put a lot of force into it, but the potatoes did come out pretty good. As far as pros and cons go, the pro would be that 2 of the 3 blades work pretty well. 1 I'm not too convinced about. It's pretty easy to use. It cleans pretty easily. I like that it sticks to the table, although it doesn't stay stuck. Cons would be it's kind of cheap material. The 3rd blade, what they call the shredding or the chopping blade, doesn't work too well. Something else I should point out about the NutriSlicer is that depending on the food you're preparing, sometimes you have to press really hard, sometimes you barely have to press at all. So that's gonna be something that, depending on what you're making, it may or may not be a problem for you. Now the NutriSlicer is not the first kitchen gadget that does the things that this one does. Like for example, you may have seen my review of the crank chop. Maybe the Veggetti, or even the behemoth veggie bullet. Now all these items seem to have their place. The veggie bullet was over $150, the crank chop was about 20, I think the NutriSlicer was 20, and the Veggetti is usually about 10 bucks. Now how does it rank among all 4 of these? Obviously this is a high-powered electronic device, completely different than the others. But I think this one seems to be a little bit more versatile. The crank chop works pretty well, but it only has one configuration, so everything's gonna kind of come out the same. The Veggetti is kind of a single-use product for spiralizing things like zucchini, but with the NutriSlicer, you can actually put quite a few different things in there, and you have 3 different blades. So to me, this one for 20 bucks is the most versatile of the 3 cheaper ones. When I was a kid, my dad ordered a product called the Kitchen Magician, which was another hand-cranked, advertised product, allowed you to slice items in the kitchen. He loved that thing, and in fact, he ordered a second one many years later on eBay. Now, just like the NutriSlicer, both of those products are kind of cheap plastic, kind of cheap stainless steel, but they both kind of work. I'm not a fan of the shredding blade, which is also known as a chopping blade, but the other two I actually found work pretty well. So even though it might be kind of cheap, I think for 20 bucks, it's not really a bad product. Have you used a NutriSlicer or something like it? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Please follow my social profiles for progress pictures and videos as I go, and please subscribe for more As Seen on TV product reviews from me, James White, Freakin' Reviews.